About 2 times. What are you talking about?
2 times up in this
Business. In this business.
Hold on, wait a minute.
Business.
In this business.
Wait a minute, I got something for you.
What you got?
Because you know me,
Pull
I
it out.
prepared.
Pause.
Oh, sorry.
Let's say pull it out, bro.
What you
better relax.
You got to control your emotions, bro.
Message, bro. Message.
Alright.
Yo, Bridget.
Okay, let me set the mood. You've just won. You've just reclaimed what was rightfully yours.
Right.
Right? Basically, how I saw it was you invited a man around to your yard. He picked up something that wasn't his.
Yep.
You realize, hold on, my shit's gone. Fam, you need to come and give my shit.
Yep.
All right, I'll box you down and take it back in there. Right? Someone that says to you, oh, we're going to open up the floor to everyone to ask a question.
Thank you very much. Thank you. How are you? Good.
Right, mic will go up.
You as a professional boxer. You did well, but I expected more from you as a professional boxer. You won tonight. What would you do to ensure that you maintain the title you have earned tonight?
All right, Auntie, no disrespect. You're meant to respect your elders, but Auntie, you got to relax. You got to relax.
I think she's getting...
gotta
Break it
relax.
down, so if no one didn't really get to hear, 'cause it wasn't particularly
Auntie
clear.
Mabel said,
Yeah.
you're a professional boxer.
Yeah.
Well done for the fight, but I
Yeah.
expected more from you.
Yeah.
What was your game plan in regards to winning your fight? Auntie, listen, you got to relax. Okay? Like, at the end of the day, man went to fight this Ruiz guy.
Yeah.
He fought him and he lost. So he then said to himself, I got to come correct. I can't go in the same way I went the first time.
Yeah.
You don't go to the Lions Den twice and do the exact same thing, especially if you escape once.
Yep.
Auntie Mabel, it's your nephew here.
So shout out to Auntie Mabel. By
Hi,
the way.
Auntie.
Shout out to Auntie Mabel.
Like, you got to relax. And basically what Joshua did was he realized I have to do something different to get back what was mine.
Yeah.
And I hear a lot of people saying, oh yeah, well, Joshua didn't fight, he was running and dancing. He was
I
no,
heard that.
man was boxing.
Yeah.
It's just that we're spoiled because Joshua is normally blitzing guys.
Thumping man solidly.
This time he said, you know what, I'm going to be a surgeon. I'm just going to pick you off.
Yeah.
And that's what he should have done in the first one. When he knocked him down, he should have went back to the corner, let Ruiz get up and go, you know what, it's mine to lose. I'm just going to pick you off for the other couple rounds.
So 7th of December,
Yeah.
Joshua Ruiz 2.
Set it up.
Saudi Arabia.
Saudi
In
Arabia.
Dubai, it was Dubai, right?
It's like, it's like that region.
Yeah.
There's a lot of sand there.
United Arab Emirates.
Yeah, neutral.
All belts
Something
are
sandy.
all belts are on the line.
On the line.
Yep. Unified championship.
That's right.
Yeah.
I honestly was worried, just a little bit, because the way that he got sparked in part 1,
Yes.
and you got to remember that Trim. You got to remember what day was that on when he got sparked. What day was that, bro? You got to know.
Champions League final, mate.
Champions League final.
You're meant to know these things.
So what happened was, right, I was watching that. I watched the game, obviously. Drizzy, we were together,
Was it? Peterborough.
and I got totally smashed.
Yeah, you did.
So this is like 4 o'clock, and I'm thinking, right, is this fight happening? But don't forget, was it in Vegas, the first one?
Yeah, we got it confused. We didn't realize.
It was in New
Yeah,
York.
yeah,
New York,
yeah,
Madison
yeah.
Square
So
Garden.
we went to, so our times was off.
Yeah.
Off.
yeah.
So by the time
Evening for them.
the fight was about to happen, bro, I was in the club, stung.
Turn up.
I was stung, and my hotel was not far. And I was like, you know what? We just won the Champions League final. I'm good. I'm good. I'm great. Oh, it's been a while. So I was out. But then, bro, I got back to the hotel. I'm lying down in bed, smashed. And you know when your ears are ringing, and everything is just peak. I looked at my phone.
and saw.
Anthony Joshua loses a fight against Ruiz. I went to bed.
Yeah, man.
I said, nah, this is
So wasn't this
that's
the
not
pizza
reality.
time? When this
drunk.
pizza time?
I'm drunk. This is too much information right now. Fell asleep.
With the pizza on his wood.
Woke up the next morning.
Wow.
Checked my phone again. was like,
More details.
we won the Champions League.
But
Brrrr.
listen to the sound of my gap.
This fat guy, this fat Mexican really did it.
Oh yeah.
He really knocked him out.
Yeah, but he thumped him. What I want to know is in boxing. Sorry to
No,
real
go
quick.
true.
But in boxing, if you thump a man in the back of his head, don't you get? If you do it twice, you could probably lose a point, right?
Apparently so.
No. What it is
He thumped him in the back of his head.
but some boxers train to hit a certain part of the head.
Yeah.
That obliterates all of your senses in it.
Wow.
It's sort of like this sort of part of your
Yeah,
head.
it's like a disconnect.
You're-
Yeah, but
what
that's
do you call
not where
it?
he
Your
got
cerebral
punched.
cortex.
If you look
What do
at,
you call it?
if you look at, it's like the
Membrane.
Abdullah Ablungada. or something like that. But where?
You got hit
But
in a
where-
very sensitive part of his head.
Anthony
Right.
Joshua got hit in the books.
Yeah.
You know that there's a books
In
in
the
the back of
crooks.
it, yeah,
In the
in his
crooks.
head. And when I saw Ruiz's his hand that looked like a leg
Yeah.
punch him in the back of his head, he didn't know where he was.
He didn't.
And I thought to myself, hold on, anytime I've seen boxing and someone gets thumped in the back of the neck,
It gets cancelled.
they say, oh, whoa.
Yeah.
It's same as when you get a low blow.
Yeah.
And they say, look, boom, calm it down.
What are you saying,
But they
Latif?
never done that. And next thing, man, was West.
What I'm saying, this is what I'm saying. What I'm saying is something was up with AJ.
Yeah.
And I say
The
that.
in that first fight.
Oh yeah. The man's got too much pride to make an excuse. I
Yeah.
get that.
Yeah.
But that was 35% Anthony Joshua.
Right.
So I think what happened was, I mean, to be honest, there's all these conspiracy theories, but I know that that's not the AJ that fought Parker.
Yeah.
No.
It's not the AJ that fought Klitschko. It's not the AJ that fought anybody. So I knew that something was up. But the show had to go on.
And AJ's dad was vexed.
Very vexed. So I was nervous in the sense that, okay, don't get hit, stay behind your jab, keep your distance. But I always kind of knew that he would win
Yeah.
if he just turned up.
Right,
You know.
right.
Yeah, and I just think for the people that are talking about running and all this kind of stuff, I'm like, it just epitomizes, unfortunately, the time that we're in.
But you know, the
People
thing.
think it's running.
But
Sweet science.
did you notice though the way that everybody turned on AJ?
Oh, yeah.
At the fact that he lost the first fight.
I've got a theory for that.
I got a theory too. I'll wait.
I was shocked at that because I'm behind AJ. Pause. Yeah, and the fact that I'm behind him is because he's British
Of course.
and
But more importantly,
he's a black man.
thank you very much.
and he's come from humble beginnings, right? So all of that and his inception into the boxing world and his trajectory to where he got to
ridiculous.
was amazing.
World
right?
champion after 17 fights.
Yeah, so him losing that obviously was devastating to me, but at the same time, I was like, okay, bro, just don't do that again, innit? Because now, part 2, this is your career now.
Yeah.
This is it. Do you know what I'm saying? This is you
Kinda.
lose this.
Yeah, you got to
I'm out. Do you know what I'm saying? Like you look like I'm with you.
Kinda, he's still
but
kinda
you lose
young.
this and
30.
He's still young as a
man,
heavyweight boxer.
man wanna, you know, man are asking me what. Prophet said, bro.
Man's gonna just pull out on you.
You know what I'm saying? Here's a tenner and I'm bouncing, bro. Bro, here's a tenner. Hold that, bro. I'm cutting, bro.
You're good.
You get me? So it was like, so it was one of those ones where I was apprehensive watching the fight, but obviously I was rooting for AJ.
Of course.
But I did see a masterclass that day.
Yeah.
A lot of
Really?
people did say, "Oh, he didn't go in and he wasn't fight. Wasn't a knockout." And I was asking those said people,
Yeah.
when you watch boxing, is it an entertaining fight to you because there's a knockout, or do you really know the art of it?
Oh, there's a difference between there's an art. What you said right there is very poignant. And boxing, my brother's a boxer and everything.
Shout out to your brother.
Big up my brother Gerald.
Broop.
And there's different ways to go about even the
An
actually
approach.
approaching the actual fight, and I don't see you wrong, but I actually think I just wanted to ask you guys.
Yeah.
Do you think that before, when he was the champion, before he'd lost the belts and everything like that, who really knew Anthony Joshua in America? Who really knew him?
No one really.
No one. So, here's the theory.
Yeah.
Do you think that it was a ploy for him to lose against an American Yeah, lose against an American, he wins the belts. He's the first fucking Mexican to fucking win a burrito or whatever. Yeah, he's the first Mexican to win the thing. Yeah. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Make this big hoo-ha. All of a sudden, he gets to change his whole life. He buys houses, he buys cars, he patterns his whole fam, everything.
Fully patterns it.
And then AJ comes back and wins the fight. And now, who knows AJ in America?
Yeah, everyone.
That's the.
I think a lot of people
I think that it was a setup.
It was a setup.
I think it was a setup because nobody knew him. No one really knew who he was.
And I can't. No, I can't argue that. That's a possibility. But what I personally think is, AJ didn't prepare for Ruiz in the first place.
That's right, Gerard Miller.
Because if you remember, he had Gerard Miller before, and then he had a short period of time to get ready for Fat Boy. And you got to think, Fat Boy, he's prepared for someone else. That flops. Fat Boy comes in, and then he's gone. This guy. So I think it's like in any walk of life. If you're going into a fight, you're going into a mental fight, you're going into any sort of confrontation, and you're not prepared for it. It could be to your detriment.
So if you're saying that, tell me this: how come? Suppose I don't even want to call him Fat Boy because he's done his thing, yeah. But what I'm saying is, fucking.
I'm calling him Fat Boy because he
call him what you want.
You know why I call him Fat Boy because that's the excuses he made.
He's making now, which is good to bun his ass.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking to myself, he's only lost one fight.
Yeah.
Did you not know that you could punch like a fucking Kung Fu Panda? Didn't you know that he could punch you?
He's a skilled fighter,
and
bro.
what did he do? He punched you up.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, okay, after a man whapped you up, you can box around, do your thing. I know people were saying he was dancing and what. He did a masterclass. But I think that he had more than enough in the tank to knock his ass out.
I believe so.
I
But
think
he
he's
weren't gonna
definitely
take that risk.
stronger and he was definitely fitter.
But he weren't going to take that risk to get his belts back.
Yep.
And they went in
gonna be a
there, and they
third.
went in there strategic. And you got to look. All right, we all watched the fight. When you watched it, bro, the way AJ kept that jab on him,
loved it, man.
bro. He jabbed him out, until Ruiz got vexed. Ruiz was like,
'Cause
bro,
he was
I can't.
unfit.
Like, he was like, I'm swinging at him,
get
but I
close.
can't
Couldn't
get.
get close.
Ruiz wasn't trying to fight. He couldn't. Didn't you see that there was
Bruv, he
nothing
would-
in him?
I think AJ took away all of his tools. Though,
He
man.
took away
annihilated his game
and he
completely,
was
man.
and Ruiz was on the front foot trim because if you
lot.
watch
All the
again,
time.
he was on trying to
All the
and,
time.
and all AJ was doing was skipping
You know
around
what
the
it
ring,
was?
skipping.
It was a Lewis-esque.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, with that
Yeah,
jab.
it was.
He just pops
Because
out,
I
he
always
just
say
flicks
that
out that
AJ,
jab.
for me, I've always kind of said he's like a hybrid between Frank Bruno and Lennox Lewis.
Yeah.
He's a merger of the two.
Yeah.
You know, Frank
Absolutely.
Bruno, we know because Bruno had a very good jab.
Yeah.
And Lewis obviously has got really good boxing fundamentals. You know, Olympic gold
natural
medal.
boxer.
I always think that that Joshua is a perfect combination of Bruno and Lewis together. I think.
But salute to
personally.
AJ, man.
Yeah.
Like I want to salute to him. I'm glad he got his belts back. The fight we all want to see is him and Wilder.
Wild, of course.
That's just like
Deontay one
Wilder's
punch
ducking.
Wilder.
What I
Yeah.
wanted to know though, what I wanted to know though, what was your theory?
Oh, I just think that quite a few people just didn't like the fact that two things. One, AJ is, and everyone's comfortable with his sexuality, but AJ is a good looking brother.
That's right.
So you got that in this country,
And
And
country
then-
of pessimists, that we
right?
are,
So you got the black guy who's making a lot of, you got fucking Stewart or whatever his name is, who just sits at home all day
Yeah.
watching Match of the Day, and his wife's in a corner speaking to her girlfriends about, that AJ ain't half all right.
he's
innit?
a rumpet.
Do you know what I mean?
He's a rumpet.
So there's that,
Bit of crumpet.
and then the fact that man was just getting his big money fights.
Yeah.
So it's like those two things. The guy is easy on the eye and he's successful.
Yeah.
Yep.
So people they love to build you up, and then when you get past where they expected you to go, they're like, whoa, we got you bring it back down. So when he lost,
And the thing is, AJ, and the thing is as well is people don't like pessimists. Don't like people who are intelligent and reflective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because AJ is very reflective.
Yeah, I agree.
Pessimists will be like, oh, you think you know fucking everything,
Yeah,
innit?
absolutely.
You're pretending. That's not really you.
Yeah, it's true.
When
I
Absolutely.
actually heard it. A lot of people a lot of people who talk about boxing a lot, you know, real boxing fans who say and have said it before he got to his to the pinnacle. Well, he may not have even reached it as yet. Yeah. But you know, they
so
say
far.
so. Yeah, my point. And saying that he's not a good boxer.
No, that's rubbish.
Nah, that's nonsense.
That's rubbish.
Nonsense, mate.
You can't do what
AJ's
AJ's done to this point forward without being talented.
Yeah.
He's talented. He might not be your type of boxer. He
There you
might not
go.
be your Mike Tyson. He's not Mike Tyson. He might not be your Evander Holyfield.
Yeah.
He
But
might
they don't
not
make
be
those type of fighters anymore.
It's
anyway.
a different era. It's a different thing. So you gotta take AJ for what he is, and you support him on his journey for what it is. Do you see what I'm saying? Until further notice.
Exactly.
But at the same time, you know, I salute him. He's got his belts back.
He's got his belts back. I was happy for him. I wanted him to win.
We want to see the Wilder. I don't want the gas. I don't want to hear the ducking no more. I don't want to hear this man.
Wilder's what it feels like it's more from Wilder's end. Because they've been like Wilder's ducking. He wants to fight Fury. Why doesn't he fight Fury? Why doesn't Wilder give?
But you know,
give Dylan White. Give Dylan White.
But the word was that the negotiation between AJ and Wilder was so back and forth that Wilder was like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna fight someone else because you're taking the piss," and kind of
he wants a big
AJ became ousted. He kind of was like. You know what I mean? But obviously, AJ's got. If you want the unification, AJ's got the belt.
Yeah, but
so
this is
get it done, innit?
Table. You can't be. You can't be making all the demands of your one belt, bro. When I got 4.
To be honest with you, like that WBC.
Dead.
Listen. Back in the day, I'm not gonna lie. The WBC, when it was held by all those old school champions, that was the World Boxing Council. That's the original world title.
Yeah.
WBO, IBF, all that came after. So then them men they were fighting top contenders.
Yeah.
If you've got 40 plus fights and then your hardest opponents have been Fury and Ortiz,
it's
get
rubbish.
the hell out of here,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, it's rubbish.
It's crap.
And Wilder, bruv, everybody gasses Wilder, but he's never technical.
Nah, man.
And if AJ goes into that fight with the nous that I think he should go into it, he'll deal with him. He'll wrap him up.
He would see Wilder's right hand.
Yeah, Wilder's got a right hand. That's it.
You'll see it from a
And
mile
AJ,
away.
and I think as well, because we watch AJ and we see he's got so much potential as a fighter, and this is what people got to understand. AJ's still a relatively new fighter. He's not had that many fights.
No,
you know what I mean. He's just made his wave real quick.
Mayweather had 50 fights.
Come on, bro.
Mayweather had 50 fights.
So you talking about coming out of retirement?
Yeah, I heard about
He shouldn't spoil his legacy because if he does come out, he's gonna lose.
I mean, he's got bills to pay.
Well, on that note,
Yeah,
we're gonna wrap this thing up, man.